Hi, I'm Dr. Sunir Garg. I'm professor of ophthalmology and a member of the Retina service here at Wills Eye Hospital. We know that diabetes can affect the vision in a lot of different ways. One of the things that we know that it does is it can affect the amount of fluid that leaks to the center part of the vision. That's diabetic edema. But there's a more advanced form of diabetic eye disease that I'd like to speak about today called proliferative diabetic retinopathy. We know that diabetes affects the blood vessels throughout the body, and when those blood vessels in the retina are affected, they start to leak blood and plasma, and sometimes those blood vessels become so damaged that they basically get clogged and the body turns them off. On one hand, that's helpful because it helps to reduce some of the leakage and the bleeding, but when those blood vessels get turned off, they don't bring oxygen and nutrients to the retina. That can affect patients' quality of vision, both in terms of their central vision and their reading vision and their driving vision, but can make our diabetic patients have more trouble with their side vision and their night vision. The body's smart enough to say, well, that's problematic, and it can sometimes try to replace the damaged blood vessels by making new blood vessels, but rather than being helpful, those new blood vessels can be quite hurtful. And much like if you hired a bad plumber to come over and redo your pipes, don't be too surprised if those blood vessels pop open and spill blood and plasma in the eye. We call that a vitreous hemorrhage, and some of our patients with diabetes will go to bed with great vision and they'll wake up with functionally no vision, and many times that's what happened. If left unchecked, the body then continues to make those abnormal blood vessels and makes scar tissue. And that scar tissue can then grab hold of the retina and start to pull it away from the eye wall, making its blood supply worse, making this downward spiral continue to go on. Fortunately, there's a ton that we can do to help our patients who might find themselves in this situation. We know that good sugar and blood pressure control helps to keep the oxygen supply to the eye good. That's critically important for eye health as well as for overall health and well-being. We have medicines that we can use that can help stop those abnormal blood vessels from growing, help shrivel them up, and if we can stop new blood from spilling, many times the body can mop up what's been spilled. But in some of our patients, no matter what we do with our medicines or lasers in the office, we need to go in surgically and remove that blood and remove that scar tissue. Particularly if we meet people in the early to middle stages of this process, we can really shut the diabetes down, reverse a lot of that damage, and keep them seeing well for years or even decades to come. Unfortunately, some of our patients end up with more advanced disease. There's still a lot that we can do to help stabilize their vision. So if people have diabetes, the most important thing to do is to see your ophthalmologist regularly so we can catch these problems early. If we can catch it early, we can hopefully keep people seeing well for a lifetime.